what I'm expecting to see and preparing for in this matchup. Let's start with Alabama having the football. Okay, so let's start with the Alabama offense. And let's start with their best player, which is Bryce Young. The more that I watch Bryce Young, the more impressed I am with him. The more that I watch him operate the system at Alabama, which is a very NFL-style system with what they did under Steve Sarkisian and now Bill O'Brien, the more I'm impressed with his ability to make quick decisions, his ability to manipulate the pocket, stay calm under pressure, and then have one of the quickest releases I've ever seen, regardless of platform, and throw accurately down the field. Folks, I don't think it was the first completion, but it was like the third play of the game last week against Utah State. He made one of those throws that I had to watch 10 times because I thought it was one of the greatest throws I've ever seen. And you're like, what? Isn't that hyperbolic, Joel? No, it's not. Why? Because this guy, Bryce Young, he manipulated the pocket by moving up in the pocket. Then he sprints to his left, not shuffles, but sprints to his left, stops, and without getting his left shoulder all the way back to the target, he just flips sidearm a ball 20 yards down the field to a wide receiver running the opposite direction while he's being covered man-to-man in a tight window, and he throws it on the money. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the first pick in the draft. That's just how I feel. I think Bryce Young is the first pick in the draft. When I watch him play, I think he's as good a prospect as I've seen in a long time. And the bottom line is that if he wasn't a little bit smaller in stature, we would be talking about him as a generational talent like we did with Trevor Lawrence during the course of his career. But the fact that he's not that stature and he's only 6 foot, not quite 200 pounds, there's these questions. But rest assured, I think that guy's the first pick in the draft, and he's one of the best quarterbacks that I've ever seen. Now he's operating this offense, and he's going to have to take his game to the next level this year. And here's why, folks. The weakest part of Alabama's team, I believe, is their wide receiver core. That doesn't mean that they're bad. Remember now, I'm rating them against other parts of the team. This team is number one in the country and should be number one in the country. So that their wide receiver core is not bad, but it's not what it's been over the last couple of years. If there's one area where Texas could take advantage of Alabama, it would be the ability to potentially lock up some of these wide receivers. I'm interested to see how they play this week and the speed with which they play. Nick Saban knows that it's one of the only positions on the field that you cannot skimp on speed. All right? It's a prerequisite. You've got to be able to run or you can't play. And he doesn't like the possession guys. That's why they've been so fast over the last couple of years, and they aren't quite as fast as what they have been. Again, they're not slow and they're not bad. They just aren't what they have been. If there's one weakness to this offense as compared to what they have been, it would be in the wide receiver core. One guy that I want you to keep an eye on is a guy that has done a heck of a job as a freshman, all right? And when you do that, that says something, in particular in a program in which there's a reckoning every single day, and that's Kobe Prentice, number 80. Bama fans, be excited about him. Not a big guy, 5'10", 171, but he is a guy that I've really enjoyed watching this week of what he did last week against Utah State. I think he's a really good player. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.